Movies today are a series of sequels, prequels, and shriekels. Remakes, reboots, and franchise after franchise after franchise, until the idea of an original film in theaters is rarer than a Starbucks union making Howard Schultz happy. Films also cost nearly double their budget in marketing and distribution costs, making the international box office total requirements to be in the hundreds of millions before making a profit. Because of these incredibly high risks, there's absolutely no chance that any movie studio is going to take a gamble on the most dangerous game of all, right? Going woke? Because you've heard the saying, once you go woke, you go broke. And no studio wants to go broke. When Greta Gerwig's Barbie was announced, a lot of people instantly thought that it was going to be some woke feminist abomination. A lecture about how evil men are and how the patriarchy is something something. By the time the release was upon the world, conservative pundits like Ben Shapiro were declaring it one of the wokest films of the year and that it was going to do super well in its first couple of weeks and then completely bomb.
This movie is not made for any of those people. In fact, this movie is made for no one. This movie is going to make a bunch of money week one because the marketing effort has been extraordinary. I mean, whoever's the marketing team over at Warner Brothers is doing an amazing job. Week one, this thing is going to clean up at the domestic box office. My prediction is going to just absolutely fall off a cliff after that.
It is now the highest grossing film in Warner Brothers studio history. Men find it funny. Women find it inspirational. And culture warriors seem to be so mathematically wrong in their woke formula that something else has to be going on here, right? Was Barbie even technically woke? It did speak about patriarchy, but it also made racist jokes towards indigenous people. But it also did feature LGBTQ+ cast and representation in a good way, but was also more focused on white liberal critiques of patriarchy than an overall analysis of capitalist entanglement, blah, 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 blah. What's important is what people mean when they say things that they don't like are woke, or political, or current day, or identitarian, or identity politics, or liberal, or California, or blue. You get the idea. Woke, the modern term, like a lot of words improperly used by white people, was invented by black people and appropriated. It originally meant being aware of the oppression of others, waking up to the reality that things like systemic oppression exist and what it can do to people of color. Because corporations are, at their core, still run by humans in the interest of producing profit for their shareholders, they spend vast amounts of money and research into determining what will maximize their profits in a given market, say, like entertainment.
In the Dial of Destiny barely made back its money despite being a massive IP. The Flash might be a major superhero release, but it barely made its money back either.
There's undoubtedly focus groups and research into determining what kind of representation will be most successful from a studio's perspective. As the movie-going public becomes more interested in, say, an all-Asian cast for a comedy, or having women and black people as stars of action films, then studios will slowly start to adapt. Make no mistake, this doesn't mean that it changes things behind the scenes. The studios that are constantly accused of, quote, going woke, are also still primarily owned and run by white men, and penetrating that workforce has been a much slower and less successful struggle. One is a front-facing product that can reflect positively on a brand, another is given the actual structural power to a diverse group of people. Representation is a good thing. It's a good thing to have young kids have heroes that look like them, or be able to play as characters that they feel represents them. It's not the same as structural change. Multiple things can be true at once, and the right will constantly focus on a, quote, woke mind virus trying to indoctrinate you because they don't see the larger picture that is corporations reflecting society, and not the other way around. Warner Brothers isn't interested fundamentally on changing the world or turning it gay or feminine. They're interested in expanding their monopolistic power and control over entertainment for the benefit of their shareholders. So Barbie can be both progressive or regressive, both woke or unwoke, and objectively entertaining, while at the same time becoming one of the most profitable films in human history. It was the right product for the right time. Thanks so much for watching. We live in scary times right now where it seems like politicians are really bent on rechanging the school curriculum to teach alternate versions of history that will benefit things like white supremacy. We want to start creating a series where we talk about difficult subjects, but in a simple and easy to digest manner like the one you just saw before you. If you'd like to help us so that we can continue to produce content like this, please consider financially supporting us, as it's the only way for us to make more of these videos on a regular basis. Go to patreon.com/theserfs, and any amount that you can donate helps create this content and more of this kind of stuff going forward. Also, subscribing, liking, sharing, and hitting that bell icon are crucial for us to try and get this message out there. Thank you so much for helping.